Alright, chat. It's time to buckle up and get serious. It's my serious face. Serious. We need to hear what is going on with Twitch and why Twitch has chosen to ban Tectone this time. So, serious face. Alerts are off. Actually, remember this time. It is serious time, chat. Let us prepare to rage at Twitch yet again.
Well, Twitch, congratulations. I'm pretty sure this video is what's going to take me to 1 million subscribers on YouTube whenever I upload this and whenever probably any contentless content creator goes live and reacts to it and sends their chat my way to give me a sub, as I'm sure they're going to do. Guys, I shit you not.
Oh, he's a little full of himself.
This is not my first. This is not my second. This is not my third. This is my fourth fucking ban in the past 90 days. Over what?
Okay, I didn't know it was that timeline. I knew it was his fourth. I did not know it was his fourth in the last 90 days. Fucking hell. And as I recall, so Grey Matter, he's going to get into that. That's what this video is about, of what he got banned for. If memory serves, his last ban was in regard to, he called denims a whole, no, he called Frogan fat. That was why he caught the last ban, is he called Frogan fat. And yeah, that was like, what, a month ago? I think. Like, roughly, I think it was roughly a month ago that he caught a ban for calling Frogan fat. That's it. That's all he did. He called Frogan fat, and he says, now, to my knowledge, this was not substantiated with any, any evidence, at least to my knowledge, but Tectone claimed that Twitch reached out to him and said that if he didn't leave Frogan alone, they were going to permaban him. At least that is what he's claiming. Now, I do not recall. Well, you're right. No, believer, you are right. Yes, the last one was for calling Demons a whore. The one previous to that was him calling Frogan fat. That's what it was. I'm getting. You can see how this could be confusing. You can see how it could be confusing on what the fuck they're banning him for. So yeah. First, it is, I don't know what the first one was within the last 90 days, but then you had, he called Frogan fat, caught a ban to that, caught, what, was it a 7-day ban or a 24-hour ban on that one? Then he called Denim's a whore, referring to her OF page, and that one he caught a 7-day for. That was the one where he caught it, he caught it 7 days, he appealed it, they approved the appeal and said, okay, your appeal is going to be 7 days because it was pinky promise. We swear it was actually 14 days that was your ban. But because you appealed it, it's only going to be 7 days. When the ban initially started off as a 7-day ban when he made the appeal. So Twitch played fuck around with their time frame on that one. And now we're into his fourth ban, which I have not heard what the time on the ban is. I'm sure Tectone will get into it. I don't know how long of a ban this one is going to be.
Might you ask? Well, guess what? This is by far the worst one ever. And this one laid forth a little trap that I set for you, Twitch. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, because I was waiting for you to do this. And I knew that you would do this. And I knew the reason would be even stupider than the...
Is he trying to say he pulled an Ethan? Is Tectone really saying that he tried to pull an Ethan on this one? All right, I'm gonna let it cook before I give him any props that he actually did pull an Ethan. I will let it cook. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna hear him out, no one cook, and see what he has to say.
The one before, so thank you for once again.
Wait, what did he say there?
Than the one before, so
okay.
thank you for once again allowing me to showcase to the world how truly fucking stupid you are. Let's go ahead and talk about the hypocrisy, the double.
And I'm seeing people in his chat that are saying H3 moment, he pulled an Ethan, basically the same thing at Isaac. We go in full Ethan energy. Yeah, it's his own chat saying the same thing. Again, I'll let him cook and see if he actually deserves the label of he pulled an Ethan. We'll see.
Let's go ahead and talk about the hypocrisy, the double standards, and the preferential treatment of every single person on this goddamn platform, running it behind the scenes. So, yes, I have been banned once again. Found out about, what, 2 minutes ago?
You know what? You know what, Anubis? I think you're right. That is sparking a memory for me. That yeah, his first ban is he told someone in his chat to go kill themselves, which he took accountability for on that one. When I watched one of his videos several weeks ago, he took accountability and said, yeah, that was a bad thing that I did. I absolutely deserved the ban on that one. So for that one, he took full responsibility, took full accountability of that one. You are correct. Thank you.
Once again, found out about, what, 2 minutes ago, probably? We got a nice little Twitter thread going over on X. Still not used to it being called X. Here we go. Yep, Tectone been banned already. 2.8 thousand likes. Can't wait for everybody to call me the worst human being on Earth and probably compare me to Adolf Hitler. I'm going to scroll for 2 seconds. Let's see if I can find anybody saying Hitler dad. Yeah, claps. Nice to dessiner. Where's the Hitler dad? There it is. Yep, great. 4 times this year. Crazy work. Just perma this loser. Well, just know this loser that you're calling me made over $400,000 last month. And honestly, we're on our track to make $500,000 this month. So,
that's one thing I don't like. Oh, Eleven! Hi! Oh, God, I had my eyes closed. Eleven, hello! Welcome, Raiders. Hi. How's it going? How's it going? Welcome in. You caught us just at the beginning of listening to how the reason for Tectone's latest ban. Welcome in. I hope you had a wonderful stream, Raiders. I do. No, and like I don't have a problem with him making that kind of money. He has been streaming for a while, and he's put in the time, he's put in the effort. I don't disparage him for making the money. And this is a me thing. This is just a me thing. I'm like, I don't think that Tectone is a bad person with it. And Rebin, I fully appreciate that he likes being transparent with it. Something in me, I don't like saying I made so much fucking money streaming. It's not a knock against him or anything. I just don't like it when people do that. It feels, what's the best way to describe it? It can be kind of braggadocious, and yeah. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a better descriptor other than being braggadocious about it. I don't like that. Like when I talk to you guys about how grateful I am and, with how generous you guys are. And the way I put it is like, you guys have allowed me to live a very modest but comfortable life where I don't have to worry about bills. But I don't like to put out dollar amounts over the airwaves like that, because I don't like shoving that in people's face. Yeah, I like to give people an idea of how I'm doing financially, but I don't like to shove it in people's face. I don't like to shove it in people's face that, yeah, I'm over here on Twitch and I'm making X amount of thousands of dollars every month. That is so much more than you do, because my stream is about having fun, and my stream and even my videos are about having fun or enjoyment or engagement. And if I start touting, oh, I'm making so much fucking money, which is generally speaking more in the case of Tectone, saying I make so much fucking money, and the people in my chat, many may not make that kind of money. It changes the tone of the stream to like, I am such a, I am just a wealthy streamer, and it changes the dynamic between the streamer and the chat. And that's not what I want. I want, I love having the back and forth we have where I am no better than you guys are, and that's the way that I view it. And so that's why I don't like to talk about mine. Again, I don't think poorly of Tectone for doing it. I don't think he's a bad guy for doing it. I just don't agree with doing that. Is all. It's like, it's a personal thing for me. That's all. And vote. Thank you for the gifted. Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead and take that shit and shove it up your ass, brother. We are killing it. It's fucking insane. 106.
Hey, hang on a second. Hang on. I gotta check something. 2 seconds. Sorry, chat. Sorry. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. Had a quick little messagey message. I'll be back it up. There we go.
Yeah, go ahead and take that shit and shove it up your ass, brother. We are killing it. It's fucking insane. 106,000 subs this month on YouTube, brother. That shit is fucking insane. Man, this loser keeps on fucking winning. It is nice. So, by the way, Asmongold, if you're watching this and you said that's it, go fuck yourself. Anyways. So I, yes, have been banned once again. 7 days, boys. 7 days. Thought it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh, don't worry. It's only a 7-day ban and no pay.
Okay. So, here's my question. The last one was a 7-day ban also. That's the thing. The last ban he had was also a 7-day ban. Whoops, sorry. And when when he appealed it, and the appeal was accepted, they suddenly doubled the suspension to 14 days, so he still had to serve out the 7-day suspension. So before his last one was this exactly. It was a 7-day suspension. He appealed it, and then they jumped it. And they said, oh, well, it's actually 14 days, so we'll drop it down to 7. And then I think he gave them shit about that, and they may have reduced it even more. I forget exactly, but they tried to pull some shenanigans. Oh, Revan, I don't doubt he's recording that. Absolutely. And yeah, Andrew, I know, like sexual requests, graphic or derogatory sexual statements, or unwanted sexual content is what the reason is. This is the part that I am a little bit familiar with, that he did not do any of this. That he did not commit this violation. That's the one thing that I know about, and I am certain that he is going to explain it. So that's why I'm not going to jump into it, because I will let him explain it in his own words.
7 days. Thought it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh, don't worry. It's only a 7-day ban and no pay for 2 weeks. That's all right. I already turned off all the ads off of Twitch regardless, and they can't take my sub revenue. So I will be going live on Twitch once I'm unbanned again, which I have a prediction. I predict I will.
Wait, did he say turn off ads?
That's all right. I already turned off all the ads off of Twitch regardless, and they can't.
How? I can't do that. I can't turn off ads. How the fuck did he turn off ads? I can't do that. All I can do is minimize them as much as I can. I can never turn them off completely. Twitch actually implemented a system where you can minimize them as much as possible. Chaotic, I am a partner. Maybe, Revan, maybe through the political tag? I mean, like, I'm partner, and the most I can do is minimize it as much as I can. So it's like a 3-minute ad every 60 minutes, but that causes pre-rolls to kick in. So maybe that's what he's referring to is he minimized maybe that's what he's referring to is he minimized the ads as low as they can go. So it's like 1 3-minute ad per hour and that's it. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't know. If he was actually able to turn them off, he said he talked to his manager to turn. Really, Robbie? So he's got an actual Twitch manager. Okay, well maybe that's why. Maybe if you have maybe if you're big enough and you have a Twitch manager, you can actually ask them to turn ads off. Obviously, I am not that big and I don't have a Twitch manager, so oh well.
Can't take my sub revenue, so I will be going live on Twitch once I'm unbanned again, which I have a prediction. I predict I will be unbanned in the next 24 hours because I'm about to make y'all look really, really fucking bad. And if I'm not, oh, I got something even better for the follow-up video. So if you're new here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for all notifications if you want to be ready for that. I like to keep bullets in my chamber and only use them when I have to, but you're kind of forcing my hand here by fucking me over non-stop. So yes, I have been banned for 7 days, of why I had no fucking idea until I was sent this, which is obviously why did I get banned? On streamer VOD, drama, gaming, reacted, new Stellar Blade, great game by the way, huge drama, mega content. What is going on this time? Content creation date, June 23rd, 2025 at 2:26 p.m. UTC. I got to be let known why I got banned once again, and I was directed to this part of my VOD where you guys will never guess what I was talking about. You'll never guess. You'll never guess why I got banned again, guys. Do we have any predictions? I would love to know. Who do you think got me banned yet again? Yep, there it is. That dumb.
Who banned him? We know. We know it was Denims. Well, maybe not specifically Denims herself, although I think he's going to get into that. It's basically the Snark subreddit, the H3 Snark subreddit, who follows Denims religiously. I think, anyway, I won't get into what I know about him. I will let him explain it because he will be able to explain it far more succinctly than I will be able to, I'm sure.
Dumb bitch who's getting her ass sued, and I can't wait for her ass to get permanent. Yes, I have been mass reported by Denim's community once again for calling her a whore. Wow! Amazing, amazing. And you know what's crazy? I didn't even call her a whore this time. That's what's crazy. I got banned because she said she was upset that she was being called a whore. And then I said, if you don't want to be called that, don't have an OnlyFans. So I didn't even call her that. I got banned.
It's not even that he didn't call her that. He didn't even imply that she was. He said, if you don't want to be called that, don't have an OnlyFans. And in this case, like there are things that Tectone has said that I don't agree with, which is fine. He can have he's entitled to his opinion. I don't have to agree with all of it. He's absolutely right on this. 100% fucking right on this. And Anubis, I haven't looked into it. If one of you guys want to do a quick Googling and see if anything in the Twitch TOS is there in regards to brigading, although my guess is he may actually bring that up. But yeah, he didn't even say anything. Denims weaponized her community, and they banned him. Bearing in mind, something to keep in mind here. How many times has people like Hassan and Frogan and Denims and basically all of those other Hassan orbiters, how many times have they been reported for hate speech? How many times have they been reported for platforming terrorists? And at what point has Twitch actually proactively banned them because people have reported that? Norm, I will read this. People experience harassment in different ways, including personal attacks, promotion of physical harm, and malicious brigading. Engaging in harassment will result in enforcement action taken against the relevant accounts. Thank you, Nar. So, what are the chances, you think, that Denims is going to get slapped with a ban for brigading against Tectone? What do you think the chances are? Huh? I'm going to hazard a guess and say less than 0, Shy Guy. You're being very generous. And by the way, Writ of the Rolla, thank you for the prime.
So I didn't even call her that. I got banned merely for saying if you don't want to be called that, then don't have an OnlyFans. Is that not fucking insane? And in case you're wondering, well, Techie, well, maybe you shouldn't be saying that.
No. Regardless of my feelings about Tectone, he can say whatever the call Tectone for his previous ban, calling Denims a whore is not something that should be that anybody should be banned about. Okay? Especially when Twitch, and I'm sure Tectone is going to talk about this, especially when other content creators like Denims and like Caseytron have actually accused Tectone of being a racist. Or, sorry, a rapist. Not racist, although I'm sure they've probably accused him of that too. They have accused him on stream of being a rapist. Hey, Twitch, how come they didn't catch a ban for that? Because that's a hell of a lot worse than someone calling a woman a whore. Yeah, I think she called him. Shy Guy. If I'm remembering correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. She has called him the rapist, and she has called his father the pedo. I think that's the labeling that she did. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Yeah, and Zafad, that's what I'm saying. That she accused his father of being the pedo, I think. So, yeah, so like they can so people like Hassan, Denims, Frogan, I keep forgetting the rest of their group. It was like someone, Mike from PA, all the rest of them. They can call people all kinds of stuff. They can actually call for people to be killed. They can call for physical harm against people. That little bubble can actually call for physical harm to be inflicted on another streamer. It was so the life of me, I cannot think of his fucking name. It's the guy that like he's got the goatee and really greasy looking hair. And no, I'm not talking about DSP. It's what is his name? It's like community. No, not Destiny. It's like community something. He's like part of Hassan's It Circle. It's like community something. This is bugging the shit out of me. I can't remember the name. But anyway, these people have actually called for streamers to be, something committee. Not like from PA, but like something committee. Shit. Anyway, whoever it was, has actually called for, other streamers to be Central Committee. Yes, thank you, Tornado. God, that was gonna bug the shit out of me all day. Like, yeah, Central Committee has called people like Sensitive Committee, which is in our circle of Hassan, have actually called for people to be attacked because of their opinion. Like Central Committee effort, for the life of me, I can't remember who, I think it might have been Asmini might have been talking about, but I could be mistaken about that, actually said that the only way to stop them is to basically beat them, like physically beat them. And they never catch a ban for that. So, yeah, Tectone simply calling Denims a whore. No, I'm sorry, that's not ban-worthy. That's not ban-worthy. At all. Reset, that's Shy Guy, you were absolutely right. He said it in regards to Ethan. He said the only way to shut Ethan up was to literally pound his face into the ground. That's actually right. Yeah, and see, Denim's like offering a bounty on Grumps. Not another streamer. Denim's offered a bounty on Grumps. Who's I think strictly have Twitter. I don't think Grumps streams. So yeah, she did do a bounty on Grumps. Asmund was no, yeah, that's a misconception. Asmund was reporting on it, and Denims was strictly referring to Grumps. There was some talk about, oh, she was doing that to Asmund. No, she was not doing it to Asmund. That was strictly Grumps. But it was still like talking about putting out a hit. So they can do all this shit and never catch a ban. But Tectone calls Denims a whore, Dan. And then when he says, well, if you don't want to be called that and doesn't even use the word whore, don't have an OnlyFans. And he catches a ban for it. Like, Twitch, you are fucked right now on your TOS enforcement. I'm going to flat out call out Twitch. You are 100% fucked on your TOS enforcement. You need to get rid of everyone in that office. Now, let's be realistic. Everybody in Twitch from the top down in management needs to go the fuck away. They need to all be fired. Everybody from Dan Clancy on down needs to be fired. Go on. Every single fucking one of them need to be out on their ass because they have proven 1,000 times over they cannot responsibly run this company. They cannot responsibly run this platform. They will take their inner circle of 5 or 7 people who align with their political ideology, which involves platforming terrorists, celebrating the attacks of 9/11, and basically hating America. That is their politics. That Dan Clancy, by not doing a fucking thing, Dan Clancy is saying he supports terrorism. He supports the attacks on 9/11. He supports threats made against sitting U.S. Congresspeople. He supports terroristic activities taking place on U.S. soil. Dan Clancy is saying, with all his entire chest, by not doing anything about it, he is in 100% support of this, as is everybody else in the management team from the top down. He's flat out saying it. And especially with Tectone, he's saying anybody that says anything bad against our precious golden children will catch a ban. And he's surprised that people are jumping ship to multi-streaming on other platforms. He's Pikachu surprise face when people are by the hundreds going into the multi-streaming sphere. I've said it before. I think Twitch, if this keeps going, I think Twitch may have only a year left to it. If it keeps on this track, this platform may only have a year left of life at this rate. By the way, Sad Cat, thank you for the follow over on Kick.
You're right. Oh, and by the way, I'm taking you on a journey here, right? There's levels to this shit, and I need you guys to understand how fucked up this is about to get. So, the woman, in case you missed last time I got banned, which is about 2 weeks ago, wow, story time with Techie, there's this girl called Denims who keeps on calling me a sexual predator, an abuser, a guy who beats women, and she's called me a rapist. Her buddy Hassan has called me a familial obligated rapist. Do you think they got banned?
Ew.
No. Soy Dora. They got nothing. They got zero punishment. Fucking zero.
No. They're still probably singing happy birthday to Hassan and giving him a cake. That's what they're doing. They're not going to ban him. They'll actually sing them happy birthday instead. In Hi Kenji.
Explain to them why they're being called that. I get banned for 7 days again. I've even tried to clean up my language when talking about this. But apparently,
Baby Shadows.
I can't talk about Frogan. I can't talk about Hassan. I can't talk about Denims. I can't talk about any of them.
Which, by the way, is bullshit. If they banned him because he talked about denims, Frogan, or Hassan, and they actually banned him, he might actually have a legitimate case for a lawsuit. If they did that. Thank you, Rygat. Wait, if he talks about denims, Hassan, or Frogan in in just a normal way and doesn't actually call for any harm to be placed upon them and just talks about the bullshit that they do and calls them out on it and they ban him for that, I think he might legitimately have something of that nature, Tornado. Revan, I'm not familiar with the legislation, but I would have to imagine that there would be some degree of a freedom of speech infringement in this case. Or at the very least, I would say a case could be brought against Twitch where, he could showcase the bans he has received, including any perma that he would receive, and the rationale for what he did, and then present evidence to the court of here is all the stuff that these people did that he was talking about, i.e., them calling him a rapist, calling his father a pedo, everything else. He could produce that to the court. I guarantee you, any judge in a case like that, the judge would rule in favor of Tectone in that, if that happened. So yeah, the double standard here is it's not even a double standard. There is no saying that it's a double standard is something of a fallacy. Twitch is a privately owned platform, Norm, but because content creators are basically private contractors working off the platform, I imagine that streamers that are unfairly booted from the platform when other streamers do like what Hassan and his circle do, I imagine there is a case to be made in a civil court against Twitch and against Amazon as well. I mean, you're going to go after Twitch, you go after the parent company.
Ember, I'm fairly sure Twitch won't die in 12 months, but I don't give it a day more than 72 months, 6 years.
Andrea, it depends on if they keep going the way that they're going. Because I've said it before, like I've said, the only way to save Twitch right now is to fire everyone from Dan Clancy on down and replace them all. Replace them with people who actually know what the hell they're doing. Well, Norm, that's why I said it's not exactly freedom of speech, but it's something lateral to that. Because yes, freedom of speech would not necessarily be covered in this situation, but it would be something lateral to that. I'm not sure exactly what. I am not a lawyer, but I'm guessing that there is a lawsuit to be had if they perma Tectone off this when they have not done a thing to Hassan and his people. There is a case to be made there. Anyway, moving on.
About Hassan, I can't talk about denims. I can't talk about any of them. Yet they can run my name through the mud 24/7. Now,
There you go.
I believe.
And you know what? I just tell her what it might be. It might be, she might be able to do a breach of contract of some sort. Where they are unfairly applying TOS. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, cool, exactly. The case can be made in a civil court where there is a gross difference in the application of TOS to Tectone versus Hassan. No, Kendra, this would not be a defamation case. They cannot. Now, could Tectone do something kind of sort of in that vein where they slander the hell out of his name, he claps back, and Twitch boots him for that? Yes, I do think he could. I do legitimately think there could be a case there. It wouldn't be necessarily slander, but there certainly would. I imagine there could be a civil suit of some kind for a situation such as that. Again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds with the legalities, I don't want to do that because I'm not a lawyer. I am not overly familiar with civil tort law or with civil tort. So I don't want to go too far into the weeds on this one. No, don't worry about it. I just as much to blame for jumping into it myself. But suffice to say, Tectone probably does have a case if they try and perma him at this point. I'd say he has the workings for a very good case.
A little bit of tinfoil
Oh, you're
hat
welcome,
here.
Molten.
A little bit of tinfoil hat. I believe that there might be some preferential treatment going on for Hassan, Denims, and Frogan. I might believe that anybody pushing extreme leftist agenda, these extreme libtards on the internet, I think someone on Twitch agrees with them. But then,
Fabian, it's not simply leftist agenda. It's not simply leftist agenda. You have one in particular that has actually pushed terrorist propaganda. There's no left and right there. There is not. The head of this snake has actually pushed literal terrorist propaganda and his platform terrorists. That's not left. That's not right. That's something completely different.
but then, that was my thoughts a couple of weeks ago. I thought, well, maybe they're just not aware. You know, honestly, maybe Twitch just wasn't aware of what they're doing. I gave them, dude, I gave them such the biggest benefit of the doubt. I thought, you know what? There's a lot of people on this platform. There's a lot of big streamers. There's Asmongold, there's FaZe Lacey, there's Kai Cenat. There used to be IShowSpeed, but they banned his ass too because they're retarded. You can go watch Mizkif. I'm being a dick. You can go watch Mizkif. The Botez sisters, what are they doing this time? Mizkif's journey to LA, very pog. You can watch S-Fan play, he's playing variety games. What was he playing today? Death Stranding, #2. You can go watch Seer quirk out. You can go watch Soda Poppin' and Vebe have an abusive relationship. Just kidding. You can watch, and many of these VTubers, maybe they just don't know. And I genuinely...
I wasn't expecting call out by name, but at least he mentioned VTubers. VTuber communities. We gotta mention. Yeah. At least we got that.
believe that. I thought there's no way there's actually a leftist agenda. So I set up a little trap. I did. In case you guys are wondering, last time I got banned, I made sure to inform you guys that I sent them a folder. And I want to let you guys know that folder was seen. I wanted to let you guys know that something big was going to happen, giving them incredibly good faith. And I want to let you know nothing happened.
Okay. Does someone know what he's referencing with this folder in question? I am not familiar. What is this folder of stuff that he's talking about? Does anybody know what that is? Oh, he will explain. Thank you, Shiro. Okay, if he will explain, fantastic, beautiful. I will let him explain. Perfect. And E.R. Hendricks, thank you for the follow over on Kick.
Nothing. Zero things happened. Why do you think that's a really big issue? Well, let me tell you why that is. Inside of this folder
Here we go.
that I made with the help of my mods, I had a plethora of videos and screenshots that went on for quite a bit, ranging from everybody from Mike from PA, Hassan, Denims, Frogan, Casey Tron Minx, just to name a few, with wonderful little clips like this.
The reason Tectone can't sue me is because he did that shit.
Clips where Denims is saying
Okay, he'll probably say it.
that I'm a rapist and I can't sue her because, well, she believes that I did it. Clips where
Thank you, Hendricks.
Hassan is calling Asmongold a pedophile. Clips where Denims is calling me a rapist, a pedophile, an abuser, going in on Nuxtaku, going in on Mudahar, going in on all these streamers, all of these streamers going in on all of these, content creators with complete blasphemous language. I call these people fat. I call a girl with an OnlyFans a whore. And I get banned now for a total of a month. None of them have been banned. So maybe they didn't see my message, and maybe they didn't do anything.
Well, Hassan did get his 1-day ban, but it wasn't for anything that Tectone had in his folder. Frogan, I forget when she caught her ban. Her ban was a couple months ago, and it was on Hassan's day off. Frogan caught her ban months ago, and that was for what she and the reason she caught that ban is because she did a blatantly racist tier list at fucking TwitchCon. And the only reason why she caught the ban is because the corporate sponsor of TwitchCon, Chevron, said, "We're out. You're fucking out. We will not be a part of Twitch if you're going to be platforming this shit." So Twitch basically threw a ban at Froden. I can't remember if Denim's caught a ban on that one too, because she was part of that panel. Yeah. Yes, Beats. That's exactly it. The Arab to Jew tier list that they did at TwitchCon. They caught a ban for that, and the only reason they caught a ban for that is because Chevron was so fucking pissed about that, they said, "We will never sponsor any event of yours ever again," and they backed the fuck out. Kale, she did not catch a ban for the 9/11 cake. Frogan did not catch a ban because she proposed baking a celebratory 9/11 cake if she got so many subs. But the fact that that was an option, they didn't do a fucking thing. They didn't do a goddamn thing. So, yeah, Tectone here got the receipts, and it has the proof that they have not done a fucking thing despite having mountains of evidence. Sounds like it'll be very useful if a court case was to be brought up, huh?
With it. So here's messages with official Twitch staff. Obviously, I've blurred them out. These are messages with official Twitch staff. This is them. I gave you a nice little title here. I completely get it. Trust me, you should report her and send me whatever clips. And by the way, this is me working with the one good mod that Twitch actually has. Or send me whatever clips or tweets you feel are violative, and I can report them myself and bring them up to the powers that be. It's the same situation as the Frogan thing, and you know it is. You know how many people were talking about Mink 72 hours ago? 0. Yes, 100%. But bro, her tweet had 1 million views out of nowhere. It's hard for me to ignore something that big after she went after me and my family. Same thing with Denims. And you've reported them both on Twitch with the links and stuff, because it is according to our guidelines that we will perform action on or off platform behavior, which means Twitch would, in fact, if they thought it was bad, whether the action was committed off the platform or on the platform,
they can do this.
You would get banned if Twitch thought it was bad. They have been sent tweets, they have been sent clips, they have been sent videos, they have been sent screenshots. Everything has been sent and received via off-screen violation or on-platform violations and on-platform violations. They have all
they've done
received
nothing.
them. Based on their own words, according to our guidelines, we will action on or off platform behavior if it's egregious enough. Labeling people rapists, pedophiles,
and, hang on, let me do a full list.
abusers, going after Asmongold's dead fucking mother.
So, to the first 3. Going after Asmongold's dead mother, that is just scumbaggery on a level that if they actually did that to someone's face, they'd get knocked the fuck out. If they actually did that, if they went after someone's dead mother, like they did with Asmongold's dead mother, into their face, they would get knocked the fuck out. Right then and there. I will say it. Nobody would stand for someone bad-mouthing someone's dead mother. That is basic. The first 3, however, keep in mind, how many people, specifically men, okay, we're going to be specific to men on this one because Tectone's a man, and this is what typically happens with men. How many men has had their lives absolutely fucking destroyed because of false sexual assault allegations? Even after it comes out that the accuser lied, even after it is proven that the accuser lied about the sexual assault allegations, how many men's lives have been utterly destroyed, and how many men lost everything, including their lives, because it put them into such a deep depressive state that they felt they had no choice but to end their own life. That is what false allegations like this do, because nobody fucking cares anymore if the woman is lying when making a false sexual assault allegation, because the deck is stacked, words are hard, so severely against men in this space when it comes to this situation that it's basically the attitude is fuck men. Some guy gets accused of it. Fuck it, I don't care if he took his own life. He was a scumbag anyway because someone accused him, and I don't care that it came out, that it was revealed through evidence that the person lied. Yeah, they basically, people have taken the hashtag of believe all women and shock of shocks, taken it to the fucking extreme. And the end result is that if a man is simply accused of sexual assault, their life is over. And the evidence and the truth does not, and the facts don't mean anything anymore. And it can literally it has ruined billions of men's lives. Absolutely fucking ruined. Yeah, well, I mean, Crimson, Me Too dovetails into the believe all women. They're kind of buddies with one another. A friend of mine was accused of sexual assault. Thankfully, never went to court or the police. The person who accused him is very mentally ill, and thankfully has never done anything stupid. Right? Thank fucking God for that. Thank God he wasn't able to. At the same token, though, I hope the rest of his life, like financially, job-wise, none of that was ruined either. I hope he was able to come out of it unscathed in terms of his job prospects, financial prospects, and that too. Because that's another thing, is that men, just by being accused, will be fired instantaneously. At a simple accusation, they will be fired.
I compiled a folder. I submitted the appeal. I made all of this. Appeal sent. Here's the info on Hassan and friends. Or should I send it elsewhere? This is great. I can try to pass to the powers that be. An official Twitch staff member took this folder. This was also reported them by 40, 50 members on Twitch, probably from my chat. Because obviously, when my chat sees someone breaking the TOS, they're gonna report them. They've been reported by my chat. They've been reported by their own mods, sent and received with confirmation that it was sent to official Twitch moderators and staff. Nothing was done. With this, we have 100% assurance that Twitch is okay with terrorist sympathizers. They are okay with people breaking the law. They are okay with people labeling people as criminals, attempting to defame them, harass them, ruin their life with false allegations, as well as go after people's dead parents. And they are okay with all of it as long as you are pushing a leftist extremist agenda.
And I'm going to expound upon that. Not only do they clearly show unwavering support for the people that ascribe to that ideology that Tectone just laid out, which I have also said hundreds of times at this point. Not only that, but if you do not ascribe to this golden ideology that Twitch idolizes, if you do not ascribe to this ideology and you call out the people who do ascribe to this golden ideology, specifically their golden children, if you call them out on their bullshit, Twitch will ban you. That needs to be said. In addition to being the golden children will prevent you from getting banned, if you actually call them out on something, or if you say something even wildly unfavorable in regards to them, Twitch bans you. So it's literally Twitch is supporting one extreme and taking extreme action to anyone that does not ascribe to this extremism. That's what they're doing. And Accusations, I disagree. Hassan, yes. Hassan absolutely has extremist ideologies. He's a fucking terror sympathizer and he hates America. And so absolutely Hassan is an extremist. He is a homegrown terrorist. Asmund is not an extremist. Asmund has controversial takes. What? Mods, talk to Drade, see what they're talking about, and help him out if you could. Asmund has takes that people don't agree with. But Asmund is not extremist. Asmund is probably one of the most middle ground people, but he's very firm in what he believes. And he doesn't use pretty language when talking about things. He calls it like he sees it. But he realistically has a very middle biomage, as you said, perhaps maybe middle left if you actually have to put a left or right slant to it. He is very much middle, but he is not an extremist. He is in no way extremist. And Machinist, like you said, that Nux is unapologetic. Asmund is also someone who is kind of unapologetic, but that's not extremist. Extra, no, that's disingenuous. Saying that he leaves the door open a little for fascists and anti-Semites, that is unfair to Asmund, because now you are putting the onus on Asmund to basically, he needs to watch his language because someone who believes in fascism or someone who is an anti-Semite, for whatever reason, agrees with one of the things he says out of 1,000, and because of that, it's Asmund's responsibility. Extra sense, Asmund believes in freedom of speech. And he has banned people that get seriously bad in his chat. I've seen that before, but he'll actually ban people. You have to remember, how the heck is he going to be able to filter his chat when he has literal tens of thousands of people in his chat? Even with a very robust mod team, it would be impossible. And the fact is, the onus is not on Asmund to basically police other people. That's not his job. He is a streamer. He is an entertainer. It's not his fault if a fascist or an anti-Semite resonates with something he says, because the same thing could be said with literally anybody. Okay? I could have fascists or anti-Semites resonate with opinions that I have. There is no onus on me to make sure that what I say, that my thoughts and my opinions, there's no onus that I have to make sure those don't resonate with someone who considers himself a fascist or an anti-Semite. There is no onus on me to do that. The onus is on the fascist or the anti-Semite for being who they are and for the beliefs they have. That's where the onus is. So that's something that needs to be said there. Is that it is there are like 7 billion people on this planet. And use dog whistle all talking points and quotes. I feel mods can flag and ban them based on those clues. Well, again, extra sense, his chat goes a million miles a second. The mods are only human. They are only human. They can only keep up so well. Pardon me. They're probably trying to do the best they can to try and look out for those extremes. But they are only human, and Asmund should not be forced to censor himself just so a fascist or an anti-Semite doesn't resonate with something that he says and starts posting gobbledygook or garbage in his chat. That's not on Asmund. The onus needs to be put on the offender at some point. We cannot be putting the responsibility or the blame on other people because the assholes happen to agree with one point that he makes and use that as a springboard to dive into their insanity. That's on the individual with the insane ideals, not the stream.
I have once again been banned. And by the way, guys, I've shown you proof of everything. And maybe I'll do that one more time right now. I'm going to ask you guys to take my word for it because I have honored myself and I pride myself by always telling you guys the absolute truth. And
okay. This is off topic. This is a nitpick. It's also not serious. Take it in the just that it is. Is anybody else getting triggered by the fact that Tectone's desk is wobbly as all fuck? Every time he leans on the desk, I'm seeing his monitor just wiggling, and I'm seeing his entire desktop flexing significantly. Is anyone else getting triggered by this? Yeah, and he's got the it's all topic. I'm not being serious. This is a joke, but god damn it, it's triggering me. Anyway, I thought I'd throw some humor into this because we've been too serious. Moving on.
And I pride myself by always telling you guys the absolute truth and providing you proof with absolutely everything that I possibly can. And if it's requested enough, I suppose I can show you more DMs. However, I'm very angry and I don't feel like censoring these things out again because my brain hurts and I'm doing this live. And I just got another DM right before I made this video that I didn't edit. They sent me a DM on how to deal with this. And they told me to just ignore them.
Yeah.
That's their solution. They want me to just ignore them.
This is what I heard.
Twitch, you telling me to just ignore them is you telling me to have people send me career-ending false allegations, going after my friends, dead parents, and just ignore it. What type of...
Well, at the same time, Ethan Tectone may say this, but I won't say. Twitch is telling him to basically just ignore the word. Just ignore. At the same time, when someone like Tectone says something to them, Revan, that's where I'm going. When Tectone says something that is 1,000 times or more less offensive than what these people have been saying about him, when Tectone says something that is not potentially career-ending by claiming that they are a sexual predator, they ban. So yes, Revan, you took the words out of my mouth. Why aren't they telling Denims to just ignore it? Why didn't they tell Frogan to just ignore it? Why didn't they tell them this? If they want to tell Tectone, just ignore it. Just ignore the blatant harassment and attempts to end his career through falsehoods, through extremely damaging falsehoods. And they're going to tell him to ignore it. Why not tell him? Why not tell Denims and Frogan? Just ignore it. What happened with Denims? Extra? Tectone got banned. Previously, he got banned because he called Denims a whore because she has an OnlyFans. And he caught a ban yesterday because he said if Denims didn't want to be called that, then maybe she shouldn't have an OnlyFans. And because Tectone said that, they banned him. But when he is talked to Twitch about how they're making accusations that he is a sex offender, that his father is a sex offender, that his friends are sex offenders, including his friends' dead parents, and he brings this up to Twitch, Twitch tells him, just ignore it. The fact is, basically, the hypocrisy with Twitch right now is staggering. It's absolutely staggering. And the problem is Tectone has got a huge audience. And the word is going to get out. I imagine we are going to be seeing stories come out from people like Reds, who also has a very large audience, who is going to broadcast it even further. And this might actually gain some traction. This may gain traction to the level of the news media again. Kind of like how when we had the ADL talking about Hassan platforming terrorists, this might go into the rate. Oh, Doc, I wasn't referring to Tectone's dad. I was referring to when they were going after Asmongold's dead mother. If I said dad, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I meant his mother. I got tongue-tied on that one. That's what I was referencing. I was referencing they were talking about Asmongold's dead mom, not Tectone's dad. If this gains traction, and I think it will gain traction, Twitch is in big fucking trouble. And honestly, I think Tectone should start talking to a lawyer about filing suit. Because I imagine he could probably get in touch with many content creators who have been banned for similar bullshit stuff. And I just think a really juicy class action lawsuit could be filed against Twitch. And I really do kind of hope Tectone starts really looking heavily into that. Well, Silver, it could have been, but it also may have been a headache that people like Tectone may not have wanted to deal with. But it's getting to the point where this is his fourth ban in 90 days. This may have lit a fire under him where he's like, I'm done with the bullshit. And he may actually start reaching out to a lawyer. Potentially. Especially if he's doing extremely well on YouTube and Kick. And he can basically just say, if he's doing so well on YouTube and Kick, and can basically just say, fuck Twitch. Because if he files the lawsuit against Twitch, he won't be able to stream on Twitch anymore. But if he's doing successfully enough on the other platforms, he may say, fuck it. Let's rock. We bowl. And then maybe look at pursuing a lawsuit against Twitch. Who knows? He may even be in contact with a lawyer who is doing research to see how plausible a lawsuit might be. He's not going to say that on his stream because until he has something firm, he's not going to vocalize that on any stream, because if he does vocalize that his lawyer is looking into the possibility of suing Twitch, Twitch would nuke his account in a heartbeat. So it's entirely possible that the research may be getting done right now. Exosense, for some of it, I might agree with you that he brought some trouble on himself. I'll agree with some of that. I have, it's like I said, I don't agree with a lot of what Tectone says, but with this latest ban, there is the latest ban based on what he's saying that the ban was undeserved. This is not something like, oh, he brought this on himself, because he didn't do anything. He didn't really do anything to bring it on himself. And again, this is also showcasing an extreme level of difference of TOS enforcement and how Twitch treats their content creators versus their golden content creators. That is the ever-loving point, is they treat Hassan and his little circle far differently. Well, Accusations, in the context of his first ban, when he called Denims a whore because she's an OF girl, I have no context for that. I cannot tell you why. And I could not tell you why he said that, where it came from. I don't know, and that's why I'm not commenting on whether or not that was homie deserved or not. This one, though, this latest one, he didn't actually call her that. He just said, if you don't want to be called that, maybe you shouldn't have an OS. That doesn't sound like that, to my ears, that doesn't sound like something that would violate any TOS. And yeah. And then, well, yeah, it's like he was doing some clapback because they were calling him a rapist. Yes. But anyway, we are getting so far into the weeds with this. I don't want to dig too deep into the weeds because we will get so fucking off track, and we are closing in on the end of the video. But the bottom line is this is more about a gross abuse of TOS punishment infliction on Twitch's part more than anything else. Yeah, you can make the argument that maybe Tectone did make a violation of TOS. You can certainly make that argument if you wish. Whether or not it's correct, that is certainly up for debate. But the fact is, putting that aside, what he has done is over 1,000 times less offensive than all the stuff that Hassan, Denims, Frogan, and all of those people have done to him, and they've gotten no punishment. And they've gone after Asmund too. Like, they've done 1,000 times worse than what Tectone has done or anything that Asmund has done, and they never receive any punishment for it. And that is the entire point that Tectone is making here. It is a disparagement. No, not disparagement. That's incorrect. It is just a completely and utterly fucked, lopsided application of TOS. And yeah, the difference between how they enforce TOS for the VTubers versus the Flash tuber. That's, it's basically the completely fucked way in which Twitch chooses to enforce their TOS. That is the heart of the issue right now. Is that Twitch is basically the manner in which they are enforcing their TOS is blatantly discriminatory. They are being absolutely blatantly discriminatory in their enforcement of the TOS, and that is the crux of all of this.
After my friend's dead parents and just ignore it. What type of disgusting fucking monsters do you have to be to expect me to be able to be defamed, slandered, have my livelihood ripped away from me, have them go after people who I care about so much, more than I care about my fucking self, including their dead parents, and say, well, just ignore them.
Water.
That's not how this works. I would be able to fucking ignore them if you did anything. I gave you 3 weeks with a compiled, easy to read folder. Yet I get banned in less than 24 hours after my quote unquote infraction. You're gonna have to keep banning me. Over and over and over and over again. Because if these people are coming at me, coming at my friends.
Yatter, new information. Oh, you said you saw something that he said he's getting in contact with Ethan's lawyer. Oh. Oh, this could get good. Yep. If anything moves forward on this, I could easily see this turning into a class action. Oh, okay. Okay. I can easily see this turning into a class action if he's able to go forward with it. He said the lawyer before his ban? Okay. Maybe I missed that. Yeah, this is and hey, hey, Andrea, got a question. I got a question, Andrew. Do you still are you still sticking firm to that 72 months that Twitch is gonna last at this point? You still holding firm to that timeline? Thank you, Ko. I appreciate it. If it's content relevant, KO, please feel free to speak up. As if it's content relevant, I do want to hear about it. Absolutely.
Because if these people are coming at me, coming at my friends, coming at their relatives, coming at my relatives, coming after their deceased relatives, I'm gonna have to fucking say something when they're blasting this out to millions of people every day. And yes, Twitch, it bothers me if they're promoting terrorist propaganda when I take pride in living in the United States of America, where many of my friends and relatives were soldiers who I care about very much, despite everything. I don't fucking care.
Oh yeah. His chat this entire time are just full rage mode. This entire time. The entire time he's talking about, they have been raging like fucking crazy. Beats, to your point there, Twitch having Amazon money, Amazon is undoubtedly...
Given Amazon's deep pockets, as well as their army of lawyers, yes, 72 months is still my prediction.
Okay, Andrea and, Beats, counterpoint. Amazon, I'm guessing, is already very unhappy with what Twitch is doing right now. Because Twitch is losing Amazon money. All right? That's a big factor here. Twitch is losing money for Amazon in its current state. And if a lawsuit gets filed, even with Amazon's lawyers, I could very easily see Amazon either going one of two routes. I could see either Amazon shutting down Twitch to try and just cut bait, or I could see them trying to basically offer an olive branch. Selling Twitch is an option. Extra cents, absolutely, that's an option. Or I could see them doing an olive branch and doing exactly what I have been preaching them to do, which is basically shit can everybody from Dan Clancy on down and install all new people. That could be a reformation of their top staff. I could see that them doing that sort of like as an olive branch or as a mulligan to try and appease any lawsuit that's coming, because that is the crux of the problem here. And so if a lawsuit is brought and Amazon says, okay, you know, we will get rid of everyone from the top down and install all new people, you know, would you be willing to drop the lawsuit if we do that? They might maybe go that route. Well, Doc, they might not to, but realistically speaking, I think it's the safest course of action, is because it's because Dan and the moderation team are not the only problems there. They are not the only problems there. It is everybody directly underneath Dan, because they are right there with them in their support. So that's why I said it needs to be basically everyone in the upper echelon from Dan Clancy on down needs to bets. They need to fucking bets. That's my opinion, though. Take that however you wish. Someone said something. Hang on. I thought someone said something. Fuck, I can't find it anymore. Anyway, but yeah. Oh, and Rep, NH Cosplay, and Sex. Thank you all for the follows.
I respect our soldiers. I love our troops, and I don't take their sacrifices for granted. You all know this is happening. This is undeniable proof you know this is happening, and yet you still do nothing. It's pathetic. You are pathetic. And the only thing that you're doing is you're going to make me grow.
Yeah, it's extra sense. It is a little bit, I'll agree. Little patriot farming. However, I do think I understand why he said that. I understand why he did a bit of that patriot farming there because of what Frogan said. He was basically pointing out the dichotomic difference between him being supportive of the troops and the sacrifices that they made, and the fact that she has said on stream she hopes every soldier gets PTSD and loses health care, and has actually doubled down on it by watching that recorded video of her and going, oh, right. And so that's why he did it. Yeah, it's patriotism farming. It is. I don't fault him for it. I don't fault him for it, though. I really don't. It's correct, Gore. Exactly. Because it is with it in context, it perfectly fits in the context of this.
And get bigger and bigger and bigger, because I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm not going to let you silence me. I'm not going to let you encourage me to just ignore it and not talk about it. How about you get your head out of your ass and you do your fucking jobs? You have a TOS. Enforce it. I'm tired of my friends getting harassed every fucking day by these disgusting human beings that call themselves streamers when in reality all they do is pull up CNN and walk away from their fucking share. They will be replaced by AI in the next 6 fucking months. Pre-planned code. If there's a terrorist, just make the streamer pog. Great. I don't know what the fuck you anti-American retards are doing there back at Twitch, but I suggest you try enforcing your TOS equally. That way you get some of the credibility you once had back. Because I assure you, you do not have it now. And thank you, Twitch. Because I'm sure once this video gets released, and this will be talked about by everybody, once again, thank you for giving me 1 million subs on YouTube. I'm going to go get a golden retriever in celebration. Twitch, go fuck yourself. May God have mercy on your soul. Do your fucking job. Unban me. That's the video. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all next time. Peace.
Okay. Some of that I did know. I did not know about his... I didn't know about his binder. I did not know that Tectone actually had a Nick binder. I was unaware of this. So that is new information to me, and I'm very glad to hear it. Yeah, well, maybe. I thought it's very pretty to think that he learned it from Nick, yes. Yeah, Crimson, he basically has a digital Nick binder of evidence against Hassan, Denims, Frogan, and all of them doing shit 1,000 times worse than he has ever done, and none of them have ever caught a ban. So yeah, he basically has a Nick binder of doom in digital format.